Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. I'm your host, Dakota, here with my co-host, Jordan. And I think it's time, possibly, maybe, we might need to start sending around the collection plate for Rectangular. Displaying model behavior is really cutting into his turf, and I just hope Rectangular's still eating well, is all I'm saying. And, although displaying model behaviors is putting out some pretty juicy leaks, and they're, I think pretty on point, but I'm still going to hold out for Rectangular to make this like the definitive list, but it's pretty definitive. So today we're going to be talking about the leaks that Displaying Model Behavior put out, maybe, putting our own speculations on this. If you haven't watched that, you can go check it out. But we're going to start it off 2-pack. We're going to go in the same order he did. We've got, in some capacity, a 2-pack of Havoc and Polaris. We had this come out in kind of their 90s look. That was a long time ago, probably 2019, 2020, maybe. I don't know. It's been a while.
Hard to remember exactly, Dakota, but it's been a little bit, yeah.
I think I personally would like that exact same look on newer bodies, like new tooling. I want the straps on Havoc keyed in. Give me double pinless arms and legs on Polaris. I'm a happy camper. That's what I would want, because I liked those figures before, but they were just like those older technology types of things that really kind of bugged me, like the straps being floppy, falling down, Polaris being single jointed. There really wasn't a lot of effects to go with them either. So that's something I would like to see too.
Yeah, you could soup that up with some new tooling and keyed in stuff, maybe, perhaps. I could see people going for that.
Yeah, and they've been doing a pretty good job with their 2-packs. Like the Bushwhacker and Punishers come pretty stacked with accessories, same with the Doctor Strange. So I think we could get accessories and even alternate heads. Like I'd like a screaming head for Havoc at least.
You just might get your wish, Dakota. Then we also have a Strong Guy Deluxe. Now we're thinking this is just supposed to be the Build-A-Figure repackaged as a deluxe. I know you're a big fan of that Build-A-Figure, Dakota.
Yeah.
So you definitely won't need it unless they did something different, but it'd probably be about the same. But I think that makes sense. I mean, that's a good figure. That's one of your I'm trying to remember where you've ranked that one before, but I feel like you.
I mean, he's definitely, if we're going category wise, I'd put him for sure in the A's. He's one of my favorites, and there's some nostalgia there, but yeah, again, I have that Build-A-Figure, so I may not need this deluxe. Maybe he comes with some extra hands. I would assume there's got to be something else packed in there. I don't know that you would really go with an alternate look. I mean, I guess they kind of have multiple man, and that's not really even his other like X-Force team look. So yeah, this is the Strong Guy look that I think most people want. So if you don't have it, I love the figure. I think it's great. Another deluxe that we're going to be getting is a Super Scroll. So we had the Build-A-Figure with like that Doctor Doom came from that wave, and other Fantastic Four members.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty decent figure. I like that he comes with the different like Fantastic Four power-ups. I like it much more than the 2-pack that came out more recently with the Scroll Queen.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
So, and there's still other looks they could do. As far as a deluxe goes, I would hope that he comes with more parts and pieces similar to the Build-A-Figure. But even like if we could get like a stretched out torso, or like even like a flaming like leg effect, kind of like a Human Torch, where like there's not actually legs, it's just fire, kind of like Cannonball. It'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think I'd be pretty disappointed if it's just a straight up reissue of the Build-A-Figure personally. I mean, I think technology's advanced enough that you could improve him a bit. And I agree with that. I think adding in some new kinds of effects that just take advantage of what you could do with a deluxe versus a Build-A-Figure. So yeah, getting like even one stretched out limb, or, like kind of in a more exaggerated way that you can get away with as a deluxe, I think would be pretty cool. And even if you could have some fun with even like different head sculpts, that'd be kind of like showing different powers and stuff like that. So
like a partially translucent.
Yeah, something like that, like a part rock head or part fire head, or I don't know, just you could go wild with the design for that. So
I mean, there was those Toy Biz from was it like the Fantastic Four Classics or Fantastic Four movie line or whatever that was, where there was the different versions of like the invisible Super Scroll, the flamed Super Scroll, and different things where there was variants, which I thought that was pretty cool. I never had any of those, but I always wanted them.
Perhaps this will be the first fully pop and swap Marvel Legend, Dakota.
I'd have fun with it.
So yeah, either way, I think Super Scroll would be cool. So I'd be curious to see that. The next one is a kind of, we're not sure exactly, but a Mysterio. Sounds like retro card. But I guess the question is, what will that be? I think the most likely I think of is the animated series one, because we've already had the Mysterio retro card in like retro looking Mysterio fashion, which I do like that mold for Mysterio. I know we've talked before about how he's a little bit different in the show.
Right. Yeah, I think
it's almost more muscly and stuff.
Right. Yeah. There's definitely less textures on the costume, which, like, I don't know. I wouldn't mind them putting this out. I actually like the previous retro card version more, but I sold him off just because he was going for pretty high when I did sell him. And I think I had him in box too. So I let him go in hopes that we would get another one in the future that either I liked better or drops the price of the original, and then I can go back and pick that one up. So either way, I'm excited to get to add a Mysterio to my collection. Next, we've seen ROM before. They've shown kind of the digital renders and they've shown the prototype. But according to these leaks, he's going to be a part of a wave. So I'll go through the whole wave here and then we can kind of come back and pick maybe some favorites. We've got Daken. We've got Iron Man. Quite possibly, Dave thinks this is going to be the ultimate Iron Man suit. Got a classic Adam Warlock, which I believe that was on Rectangular's list, so that seems pretty likely. A 616 Miles, which I think was also on Rectangular's list. You're going to have to help me out with this one. I don't know this Spider God.
Yeah, I was not too familiar with him either.
Like
that sounds right. Ish.
Yeah. Yeah. You can put the phonetic how to say that in the comments for me. That'd be helpful. A Werewolf by Night, a Carol Danvers, but we don't know which one because in his leaks it said something about Huntress, but that's from the Amalgam comics. If they started doing Amalgam comic Marvel Legends, we would lose our minds. I don't think that's very likely. Probably not, but
that'd be cool.
We can hope. So some version of Carol Danvers, we don't know what, and then is in this wave. So I think there's a lot of good stuff here, Jordan.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. I think I can narrow down to like my top 3 would probably be classic Adam Warlock. You know, I've been talking about him for a while. I think that's a great call and definitely well overdue. Werewolf by Night, of course. I mean, another one that we've needed for a while. And ROM. So those would be my top, I think, 3. I do think a new Miles would be cool. 616. Ultimate Iron Man, cool too. But those are my top 3. If I could pick from those.
I mean, do you think Werewolf by Night would? I mean, it's pretty similar either way, but would this be a comic? I would assume because
I guess comic. I doubt they would put just an MCU one in there.
Right.
So I'm thinking it'd be comic. Just probably the green pants, you know, werewolf style.
Yeah.
I can guess yours, Dakota, I think. But
what do you got for me?
I'm going to say Daken.
Yep.
No, we've had a lot of controversy on that pronunciation. Ultimate Iron Man.
Yep.
Then a third. I feel like you could randomly be interested in the Spider God guy, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going to go with the safety werewolf. Or is it Miles?
It'd be ROM for sure.
ROM? Really?
Yeah. I bought all those comics. I'm not going to get the figure to go with my comics.
All right.
But no, I do want Miles too. So that makes sense. Werewolf by Night. I mean, I haven't really read any of the comics with him in it, so I don't have like a strong attachment to him.
That's true.
Maybe from the Toy Biz figure, but that was even yours. So
well, again, I think between us, we could get most of these figures then.
I hope the Build-A-Figures. Maybe this is
that's what I'm saying.
Best Build-A-Figure that he's ever
done.
done.
We can pool our resources.
Yeah. I know Dave was talking about the Spider God guy being like reuse from the Spider-Man with the 6 arms. I don't think from at least the pictures he was showing, I'll see if I can find some other pictures, but it looked more like it was like the symbiote smooth costume. And that previous 6-arm Spider-Man is all very textured with the spider suit with the like web lines and everything. So it would have to be
Yeah, I
pretty much brand
also
new.
hope it's not reusing that body because I think that's pretty rough. Like with that torso, how
Yeah.
stiff it is, you can't do anything. So
Wasn't the 2-pack one a little bit different and better? I don't remember. I
I don't
never have
know.
had that one, but I know the
Yeah,
original one wasn't super great
I
for
don't know.
posing, but I thought they had maybe
Yeah,
updated it or something.
it didn't. I don't know. Didn't seem like it was totally fixed, but maybe I'm just
Okay.
whining, which I do tend to do. Yeah, I'll be curious what that Carol Danvers will end up being.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean, maybe this is the Dark Avengers Carol Danvers. But isn't she's supposed to be coming up
no,
for pre-order
yeah, I
like
think she's like a
next month,
solo
this
pre-order,
month?
so I don't think it's
Yeah,
that.
okay, so it's not that. All right.
Next, we will have some more cosmic characters. This is going to be Champion and Magus, Dakota. You can correct me on my pronunciation there. I do remember seeing these guys in some, Infinity Watch, Infinity War, Adam Warlock era. I think Magus is like the dark evil
Yeah.
side of Adam Warlock because he has some kind of pretty wild backstory. Um, but I'm always for getting cool, trippy looking cosmic guys. So
Yeah.
bring it on.
I mean, this would be our second Magus, right? Magus, however you say his name. Again,
Have we
put the
gotten him
phonetic in the
before?
comments
Right.
for me. Because the what was it, Mantis or Groot Build-A-Figure Wave Adam Warlock came with that alternate head. Maybe
Yeah,
technically it's
maybe.
kind of like how we had the Lalandra
Lalandra, but
before,
not
but
really.
right. So
Good
as an
thinking,
alternate
Dakota.
head. I'm on top of this.
You know
Um,
what you're talking about.
Next, another 2-pack. This is one that people have recently been asking for, and this is Black Bolt and Triton.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got the Lockjaw and Crystal 2-pack. It's been a long time since they've put out the Medusa and Black Bolt. They
Mm-hmm.
never put out a Triton before. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I think that was just like the 3 3/4 line that they had done him. So you're rounding out your Inhumans a little bit more, and I think Black Bolt's definitely due for an update. Pretty important
Mm-hmm.
character, whether you want him in your Inhumans or your Illuminati. So hopefully he comes with some cool like screamy effects. They've never really done.
Oh, you could do like an attachment, like it's coming out of his
Yes,
mouth. That would be
yeah.
cool, actually.
So
Oh, or if you
I
could
really
get
hope
like,
they do.
yeah, like a word. If you get like a word, like no or something, and it's like they would never do that. But wouldn't that be cool? Like,
No, that would
remember
be
is that World War Hulk where he whispers something to the Hulk and then it's like destroys him? That'd be kind of
right.
fun. Somebody will probably make
Yeah,
that
I
now. But
agree. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, maybe can of beams or something like that.
there you go.
But then if it was just like the plain screamy effect, you could reuse that on
Right.
the green Banshee because that's from Rectangular's leak. That's supposed to be coming too, I think.
There you go.
Yeah.
All working
All right.
together. We'll also be getting some more X-Men 97, which I think we're all expecting. But we do have some specifics on, well, actually not the wave itself, right? We don't know exactly who's going to be
I
in
don't
that
think
wave.
so.
We could
Right.
That could be another speculation, Dakota. Actually,
We've
did we
already done it.
speculate that? We've already done
Yeah,
that,
we did.
folks. You can go back and check it out to see what we think would come. But this is just going to be an X-Men 97 wave, so probably a lot of the characters we would have wanted to see but didn't quite get in those first few waves. And before you start making predictions, we got some 2-packs as well. So
Mm.
that might narrow it down, Dakota, if you want to give us some of those.
Yeah. So your first 2-pack is going to be a Wolverine and Storm. So most likely going to be their second looks because we've gotten their, yellow and tiger stripe Wolverine, and then the
Mm-hmm.
white suited Storm. This one's probably going to be Storm in her black suit, and then Wolverine in
Mm-hmm.
his tannish orange yellow suit. The weird part about this Wolverine though is going to be that I don't know how much different it's going to look than the one that's already coming out in the Secret Wars wave. So I guess time will tell with that. And even the Storm's a little strange for reasons we'll discover here in a minute. But go ahead and with the next 2-pack, Jordan.
Our next 2-pack will be Cyclops and Jean. So we're thinking that'll be from the end of the show where you got that more Dark Phoenix saga look for Cyclops, which I've been wanting for a while, Dakota, with the
Mm-hmm.
blue hood over his head, mainly because I was jealous of yours always as a kid, and I finally want one. And then probably the Marvel Girl look for
Mm-hmm.
Jean, which I do think you could. I hope they update from the older Marvel Girl.
Yeah.
like
Same.
House of X wave because that figure again, classic look, but pretty basic figure. So I think they could hopefully update that one a little. But I think people will definitely go for that Cyclops.
Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, just like maybe update the feed or something because it seems like everyone had trouble standing that Marvel girl, and that's classic look. Whether you want it for your animated stuff or if you want it for just your classic first class type X-Men looks, it's an
Mm-hmm.
important look for sure. Next up, like I was kind of alluding to, we're going to have a deluxe Storm. So I guess I don't know that this is within the umbrella of the animated show. This could just be a regular comic book Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think if we did something along the lines of the Phoenix that just came out, you could have a really cool like tornado effect that comes with your Storm, and that would maybe that warrant that deluxe look. And again, you could have lots of lightning effects. I think Storm has pretty cool like
Mm-hmm.
lightning hands.
Yeah.
And maybe this would be the
A
kind of the
little
white
tornado-y
version.
base type thing,
Yeah,
maybe she could stand on or something.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm thinking. Otherwise, I mean, it could just be like a cheaper deluxe, like something. No, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say tornado base. That's I'm gonna call it now. You heard it here first,
All right.
folks.
Tornado base on Storm. And then we'll also be getting a deluxe Professor X. So imagining pretty similar to the Rider's Wave, where he's just got the
Mhm.
hover chair. Pretty similar look too. The green and everything. Probably just gonna give him way bigger eyebrows because
True.
that Professor X's eyebrows go hard.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Again,
Mm.
also, I think it'd be fun to find some way to add something in there with them.
Yeah. All
Make it a
right.
little bit different.
Here's my all right, I'm gonna roll it back on Storm. I'm still gonna say I'm probably number one tornado. If this is gonna be just a comic Storm, tornado base.
Hmm.
If this is
Okay.
gonna be under the umbrella of the animated show, probably not. But I'm gonna guess Storm with the owl demon thing,
Wow.
maybe. Otherwise, I just don't know how you make a Storm a deluxe figure. Like, yeah, you can have hands and lightning effects, but even that still seems like it's not that much more, especially than a build a figure wave. Anything like you think of, like Yelena Belova came with a bunch of stuff. The
Hmm.
Thor, Harold Thor came with a ton of stuff. It just doesn't seem worth it unless it's coming with a tornado base or a giant owl demon. Professor X, I'm going to say he's not coming in the hover chair. He's coming in his
Okay.
more wheelchair, a little bit more first class style,
Okay.
pre hover chair. So that's where I'm going to say there's going to be a difference in the characters. Again, maybe it's going to be hover chair.
What,
It's just,
how is it going to be a deluxe then?
we think that you're just going to give a standard figure a wheelchair.
What do you think is going to be in the Professor X to make it a deluxe if it's just him in a regular wheelchair?
I mean, you can give him some like alternate heads, thinking stuff, extra hands.
As a deluxe? Come on.
It's yeah, that's what
The deluxe he comes with this little wheelchair?
I mean, I guess to be fair, like if you think about back in the what was it, the Onslaught or whatever build a figure wave from Toy Biz, that
Hmm.
Professor X just came with the wheelchair standard figure. So, but he did have floppy legs, right? Wasn't that the floppy leg
I
Professor
think
X, or
you're
was that
thinking of the movie one.
the
That's the
movie one?
movie
Okay,
one.
okay.
I'm just saying I feel like they would
That
have to
wheelchair's not
add
good enough for you.
something. No. I'm just saying, yeah. I'm just saying they'd have to put something else in there to justify it being a deluxe for me if you're just gonna have a regular chair. I thought you were gonna
Well,
say like Cerebro or something's gonna be in there, like some kind of
yeah,
like add-on.
I could see a
That
Cerebro
to
in there.
me would
Sure.
make sense if he had a little mini Cerebro thing that he could put on his head, because then
Okay.
you could use it with other characters or something. That
Yeah.
that's what I thought you
Okay.
were getting at.
There. I think that deluxeifies my deluxe idea. You
There you
get your
go.
Professor X with didn't the other one come with a Cerebro though? The hover chair
It's just like a little like head
helmet.
thing, but I'm
Oh, okay.
talking like give him a little
You want a
console,
little
baby.
computer to go with it?
Yeah,
Okay.
heck yeah.
Okay. I see that. All right. So that those are going to be my guesses for those two.
Mhm,
Again, if it's within the actual show, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I've got. So out of all these, Jordan, the new leaks
mhm.
here, what are you picking up?
Oh, definitely the 3 that I for sure mentioned from Rom Wave.
Yep.
Classic Adam Warlock, Rom, of course, and Werewolf by Night. I
Hmm.
think Miles would be cool, so that's
Hmm.
another one that I think would be fun. Mysterio, maybe depending on the look.
Hmm.
And I could see myself getting some X-Men 97s, again, depending on which ones we end up with. I'll
Okay.
have to see.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm slightly disappointed that we don't see a deluxe 97 Bastion. I probably would have
yeah,
been
I
very tempted
know.
to get that for sure.
High
Um,
on your list.
I'm if it's the 90s looking Havoc and Polaris, even if it's not, that's going to be tempting. But if it's 90s, I'm for sure wanting that. Super Scroll is going to be tempting if we've got some cool accessories there.
Mm-hmm.
But then the for sure's, I'm going to be adding a Mysterio to my collection, whether it's this retro card or the last.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, Dakin, Iron Man, if it's the ultimate look, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
616 Miles and Rom for sure. Outside of that, I could use a Professor X, depending on how he looks.
Mm-hmm.
And Storm would be pretty cool because I don't have a Storm yet. So I think the X-Men 97 one, because I really like that last one. So this will just be an update to make it even better. So I'll probably be
Mm-hmm.
going for that one. And then if this is a comic Storm, kind of like I said, even that would be pretty cool because it'll probably be on the newer body with the super articulated Black Widow stuff. So I don't know, lots of cool stuff here. Let us know down in the comments what you plan on picking up out of these leaks. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, stay strong.